What's going on, y'all? It's JD Pickell with On 3. Today on the Hard Count, we're going to talk about Nebraska making good use of the transfer portal. Welcome into the Hard Count, the people show for every single thing that you know and that you love about college football. It happens here on a nearly daily basis. Nick Brake does the heavy lifting. You can help drive the show by subscribing to the channel. That is imperative, okay? So we're going to talk about Nebraska crushing it in the transfer portal today. Like the bumper just mentioned, 15 guys from the portal, all coming to Lincoln, all going to be in uniform this coming season. It's interesting in today's day and age how teams choose to use the portal. I think Nebraska did it the right way, and I'm going to talk about it with you right now. First and foremost, Nebraska used the portal to adapt. They did it to fill holes. A lot of teams will just kind of go out, I say shopping loosely. I'm not saying legitimately shopping, but in some way, shape, or form, some teams just go down the aisle like they're at Publix and say, I'll take one running back, one linebacker, and a kicker if you have any. Nebraska's like, no, we have these needs with some guys that have left in different ways. We need to make sure that we adapt to get to where we want to get to in 2022, because there's no longer the excuse of, okay, we'll get in a recruiting class, we'll develop them, and then in 3 years we'll compete. In today's day and age of college football, with immediate eligibility and the way the transfer portal works right now, you can plug and play and get a good product on the field in a matter of a year. And so for Nebraska, they had some things arise to where they had to fill holes. They had 4 defensive linemen leave, whether it was to the NFL or following the defensive line coach or just being done with football altogether. Those are 4 defensive linemen they were banking on having. And so credit to Nebraska being quick on their feet and saying, okay, let's add some defensive linemen from the portal. Again, 15 guys are now joining this program. In addition to that, they had some early recruits in Scott Frost's tenure that ended up not necessarily being starting material, if that makes sense, just didn't necessarily pan out the way they thought they would, which, again, is not a knock on Nebraska. Credit to them for adapting, going into the portal, and at wide receiver and defensive back, making sure they fit those needs and ultimately met what those holes required. So the other piece I want to add on to this is that Nebraska is doing a great job adding top talent. 10 of their 15 transfers are projected to be starters. That is a big deal. It's one thing to get quantity, but to get quality into your program is huge. Also, 10 of those 15 guys come from Power 5 programs. So they're going to these programs where guys have been vetted and been developed and been in a real strength room and played against top competition. So they're going to places where they know their product that they put on the field is coming from a reliable source. Places like Alabama, places like the SEC, places like the ACC. They're going to the right places to get their guys. Credit to Scott Frost and his staff for knowing how to recognize talent. Now, in addition to this, they're getting talent at premium positions. We talked about filling holes, yes, but they're getting guys that are going to make an instant impact at positions that you're going to recognize right away. So obviously the quarterback, Casey Thompson, coming from Texas. People in Austin would tell you, got a bad rap there. I think he's going to be really impactful because you were so close multiple times last year, actually 8 times last year, 9 if you want to count Ohio State. A quarterback, someone who can jumpstart the offense and give you more production, give you more reliability downfield, like we've talked about on this show before. That is huge. That is going to be instant impact at a premium position that cannot be overstated for Nebraska how important that is. That is phenomenal. In addition to that, Ochon Mathis stole him from Texas. A lot of people thought he was going to be a Longhorn and follow Gary Patterson. Not so fast, my friend. Scott Frost says, come play for me in Lincoln. Come off the edge and wreak havoc. Nebraska wasn't horrible in the pass rush last year, but adding a guy like Ochon Mathis, that is huge. That means you have to now more than likely account for a double team every now and then for Ochon. That leaves another guy with one less blocker. So you're going to be able to apply pressure just by him being on the field. That's crucial. And then they also beefed up the defensive line with other guys. But having a guy at the edge with Ochon Mathis, that is big time. And so to put a bow on this, Nebraska is doing a great job getting a product on the field. But Scott Frost said it well. He's like, hey, you can have talent. That doesn't make a team. You can have a lot of pieces. That does not mean you're going to have a successful season. And so they've got the product on paper on the field, but when it comes to Saturdays, can you put this plane together while it's in the air. Because I think that's the best way to put it. This is the largest overhaul of guys that are going to be newcomers on scholarship for Nebraska. 33, 3 JUCO, 15 high school, 15 transfer portal. And there's no test run at this. There's not a, okay, let's give this a try, see if she flies, and maybe if it doesn't work, we'll bring it back down, put it back together again. It is, okay, we got a lot of pieces. Think we put them together right. We got fall camp to give it one more tinker and make sure everything's good. But this plane has to fly. The fan base knows it. Scott Frost knows it. That locker room knows it. Pressure makes diamonds. The portal makes diamonds, or we're going to see. So credit to Scott Frost, credit to his staff, filling holes through the portal, going to the right place to fill those holes in terms of getting it from reliable programs, reliable sources to where you know this talent has been developed properly and is in position to compete, and then also getting guys at premium positions that can make an impact on day one. That's it for us here on the Hard Count. Appreciate you tuning in. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. We are surging towards 10,000. We want you a part of it. Be a part of this community. We're going to keep the party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.